I'm excited to be here again. I wouldn't miss this for anything else in the whole wide world. So, this is the session we'll do every month to equip our people with soft skills that they need to thrive in their workplace. So, before we start, as our tradition is, I would love us to quickly go to the comment section and tell us where we are joining from. Just tell us where you are joining from, your name and where you are joining from. You can be generous to tell us your level or your proficiency in data analytics. But if you're not comfortable sharing that, it's fine. Just tell us your name and where you are joining from. To be great for you to share your proficiency so that our speaker will know how to tailor the message for the audience that we have on the call. I'm not seeing it. Oh, beautiful. Ahmed from Ibadan, University of Ibadan. Iremide from Russia. Oh, thank you for joining. Guys, let's keep it coming. Tell us your name and where you are joining us from. Let's get to meet you. I see um we have like 13 persons on this call. So I should be seeing the messages flying in. Messages should just be hitting me. Okay, Jami from Lagos. Jami, thank you for joining. Raji, University of Ibadan as well. Beginner level, Raji, you are in the right place. You have all the information you need to start your career in data analytics. Igwe from Lagos. Igwe, we're excited to have you join us today. Collins from Abuja. Collins, we're excited to have you. How is Abuja weather treating you this afternoon? Abdullah from Lagos, intermediate level. We're excited to have all of you join us today. And oh, not bad. That's good. Actually, our weather here is becoming very good. You can see today I'm not wearing any jackets or anything. I can say that we're approaching summer. It's good. So I'm happy that I'm sharing in the not bad weather. Okay, so today we have an amazing speaker and we'll be dealing on a very, very interesting topic because it's not enough to start your career as a data analyst. It's not enough to say, oh, I know all the tools and I get a job. It is important to grow. Stagnation is a very bad thing. It can be frustrating. Imagine you get a job as a data analyst and then they are paying you a certain amount. And then years by, other factors come in, maybe inflation, maybe family changes, life choices, and then there's need for you to grow financially, but that is not happening in your career. Right? It can be frustrating and quite limiting. So that is why we have put this session together for you today. So we have an amazing guest that's going to be walking us through that, how you can grow. So it's like I said, it's not just enough for you to get these skills. No. You need to learn how to grow in it as well. How you will navigate, how you stay relevant, because the growth comes from being relevant. I always use these examples. If you are a team leader and you have two people on your team, let's say you have Mr. A and then you have Mr. B, and then there's Mr. A that does all the amazing stuff, always shows up for you, always go the extra mile. And then you have Mr. B that just does the bare minimum. And you are to promote someone. Who will you promote? I can use your responses. Let me know that I'm not the one that is just thinking out of the ordinary. Mr. A does everything you need them to do, and they go out of their way to do what you did not even ask them, but it's helpful for the business. And then Mr. B just does the bare minimum, and you have an opportunity to help someone climb the ladder. In all sincerity, who would you choose? Mr. A, God bless you, Raji, for your honest response. Jamie, yes, Mr. A. So that is what this session is about today. We are going to be showing you how you can navigate and grow, stay relevant in the workplace as a data analyst. And if you are here and you're not practicing data analysis, you can still use the information. I always tell people, pick something that is useful to you, right? There's an information that you can use in your respective feed. And if you intend to transition into data analytics, good for you. At least you already have the tools you need, you already have the information you need, and you're going to grow faster than someone that does not have access to this information. So on this note, I'm going to be introducing our speaker, the person of Babatunde Ahmed, who is an experienced data analyst that will be walking us through this session today. I have interesting questions packed. And as the session is going on, like we always do, if you have questions, please put them beside. because we do not want to miss any of your questions. That is why we put this session together. So keep your questions aside, and then when it's time for question and answers, we're going to take them. I don't want you to forget them. Please, if you need to take pen and paper, please pen them down. We'll answer your questions given the available time. So on that note, I'm going to be welcoming our speaker, Babatunde Ahmed, to take the floor. Mind check,
Hi,
Babatunde.
hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're excited to have you here. How are you doing this
Yeah,
afternoon, sir?
I'm fine. I'm fine. In fact, to be
Beautiful.
honest, I was not sure I was going to join this call because
Wow.
I was supposed to take my dog to the pet. Unfortunately,
Oh,
I had to just drop it there, and then I had to rush back
Kimba,
home.
I'm so sorry. Your dog will miss you. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for the sacrifice to be here. We appreciate you, sir.
You're
And we
welcome.
hope that this will be worth the while for you too.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Awesome. I will give you the floor to introduce yourself briefly, and then we'll move into the question and answer session.
Okay, so since this is not an interview, so I'm going to do it. I'm just going to flow with it, right? And
Okay.
So I just want you to feel free if you feel like I like feedbacks. One of the things that make you a great analyst is you get feedbacks. Take feedbacks. One of the things that make you a great analyst. So yeah. So if you feel like I'm too fast, slow me down. And if you feel like I can't I'm not passing the message well enough, just let me know. So yeah, Babatunde Abdullah Ahmed by name. I currently work with Access Bank as a senior data analyst at so I work from the head office. But I have my background in chemical engineering. So if you're on this call and you're not sure if analytics, the truth is that even in Nigerian university, I don't think there's any Nigerian university that teaches you data analytics as a course or as a BSc. In data. So most of us branch into it as time goes on. So I studied chemical engineering in University of Ilorin, and then my MBA. I had my MBA in OAU, and a couple of certifications here and there. So I've been doing data analytics for about 6 years. So I think I joined the data analytics journey. I started my data analytics journey when it started in Nigeria. So I started data analytics before it became this thing that everybody is now trying to do now. So let's say that we are the early birds for data analytics in Nigeria. So yeah, so has been an amazing journey. So I grew from somebody that didn't know how to write a jack. I couldn't write select star when I started. In fact, I didn't know there was a team called data analytics in Access Bank until I was posted there. So it wasn't because I wanted to join analytics. It was because I was posted to that unit. And trust me, it has been the best thing that happened to me, honestly. So yes, that has been my journey. And year on year, I've been growing, increasing my capacity. In fact, the truth is that there's always something to learn every day about it. That's one of the interesting things about data analytics. So yeah. So I want to say thank you for having me here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're excited to have you once again. So I'm going to go straight to the question session. Please, guys, don't forget to take your notes. If there's anything you need clarity on at the end of the session, we're definitely going to be taking it. So the first question we have for you, sir, is please, everyone, just confirm you can hear me. You can give a reaction, or you can unmute your mic and just give me feedback. I want to be sure that everyone can hear me clearly, can hear us clearly before we proceed. Okay, thank you, Chiamaka. Thank you, one for beautiful. Okay, thank you, Raji. So that means everyone can hear me. Beautiful. So we're good to go. So the first question here we have for you is, what are the essential skills a data analyst should develop to stay relevant in today's fast-paced work environment?
Okay, when you say essential skills, so I'm sure that you're saying not the technical skill now, but when you're saying the essential skill, one of the things that I tell people is that always ask why. As an analyst, you need to be able to ask questions because the beauty of your insight will be sitting on how well you can ask questions, how well you can be inquisitive. So yes, one thing is always ask why. Second thing is when you're talking about having essential skills, ability to communicate. Because when you work on a data set and you can't communicate your findings, it becomes a problem. So you can say you have soft skills and technical skills. So soft skills can be, these are things I'm talking about now: communication skills, presentation skills, and then you also have to be creative. Because one of the things I've noticed about data analytics is that, to be honest, and this is me being honest, and there's no, I'm not too good at mixing colors. I'm not too good at making these very fine presentations here and there. But one of the things I want you to know that from experience is that it is important when you identify a gap, is something you should strive very hard to cover. I mean, to ensure that you cover up that gap. So yes, be creative, have a good communication skill, ensure that you're a good team player, because there are times that you want to do something that you don't even know how to do about it. So there's a project I'm working on currently for in the bank, and there's a particular feature I'm supposed to bring on board. I've not had to use it since 2019. And then I have some other guys in my team that, even though they are junior staffs, they know this thing because they use it every day. So because I'm always willing to learn, I had to call them and say, you know what, I'm going to bring in these data sets. You have to show me how to go about this thing. So yes, ability to work with a team. I mean, be a team player. Understand that you're not an island of knowledge. You should be able to ask questions. Get feedbacks. So when you're done with your design, so what I do, one of the things I do is that after I'm done with the design, I send it to a junior staff. I said, just look at this thing. Is there anything you can do to make it look better? Is there anything you can, so be objective. So ability to be objective also will go a long way, ensuring that you stay relevant. So one, your communication skills, ability to communicate your findings is important. Your presentation skill, how well do you present this data? You have to pay attention to details when you are presenting your data. And remember that not everybody you are presenting to, your stakeholders, are not tech driven. They are just lame. Some of them are layman. They are not even interested in the visuals. Sometimes they just want the findings. So your ability to understand your audience and present the data in the right way will go a long way. And then when you look at the next thing is your creative skills. You need to be creative. There are times that you want to build a visual. You have 4 or 5 visuals on a particular landing page, and somebody can have 20 visuals on that same landing page. It's all about managing your space. But one thing I also want you to be aware of is that you need to understand who your audience is. For someone that is going to be using operationally, you can afford to do 20 images on a landing page. But for someone that is a management person, a management stakeholder, you won't afford to do 20 visuals on a particular page. It becomes too busy. So understanding that your creativity also is important. How creative can you be when presenting your data? So that's another thing. So when you go to, I think we'll still touch down on the technical skills, if I'm right, Pepe. So, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want
Okay.
me to talk on the technical skills now?
We'll touch on that as we progress, I hope.
Okay. So let's
Thank
go.
you for the responses. There's something that has always been constant in most of our sessions. That's creativity. At this time, I don't have any doubt that creativity is an essential thing to have. Maybe we should host a session on how people can become creative because we talk about it a lot, really. Thank you so much for that response. The next question is, how can young professionals effectively navigate the early stages of their careers in data analysis? For people that are just starting, how can they successfully navigate? And success here can mean different things to different people. There are people that just want to have certificates. There are people that just want to have higher salaries, like in the next 6 months, in the next 1 month. I want to be earning this much. And then there are people that just, success to them is the experience, the knowledge they have. Oh, I could use this tool as of now. 2 months' time, I have an additional tool. So regardless of what each person considers success, maybe more money, maybe more knowledge, maybe more titles and recognition, how do you think people can easily navigate it at the beginning of their career?
So I'm going to give you I'm going to eventually, along the line, I hope we'll get to that kind of question. I'm going to expose some secrets that have been working for me along the line.
You can expose them. Well, that's why we're here. Give us your secret sauce. We like it hot and spicy. Expose all the secrets. Please.
So the truth is that if somebody had told me that at some point I'll make about $3,000 from training somebody on data analytics, I'll say it's a lie. So yeah, you can even earn more than that. Just training somebody on how to analyze data, $3,000, $4,000, depending on how you position yourself. So for me, one of the things my mentor would tell me is that should not always come first. Money should not always come first. When you are a beginner trying to navigate your career in data analytics, one thing you should be looking at is that you need to define a path for yourself. What path am I going to? What change am I looking to make? Because trust me, in the journey, you will get frustrated. What will keep you going is the decisions or, the end goal that you have in mind. So my own end goal at the end of the day is that, in fact, I was telling a friend yesterday, in the next 10 years, what I just want to do is consulting, data strategy. Just look at data, and then I can predict your future for you looking at data. So our focus will most likely be different. So one thing I will say to you is that as a beginner, decide for yourself. What journey do you want to, this data journey, what is the end goal in mind? Two, if you don't have a mentor in data analytics, try and get one. There are people that are doing well in the field that can also help you. They will help you in that journey that you're about to embark on. So as a beginner, it's important that you have somebody that's holding your hand. Trust me. Let me tell you what are the things that I do. And I'm not expecting everybody to do this so that you don't copy my style. When I started as a data analyst, when I go on LinkedIn, I look for top guys in the industry, people that are doing very well. And I send them there's a way you can do other than following them or connecting them. I send them a deliberate message, a personalized invite. And I said, hello, so person. I want to, I introduce myself briefly. I'm a data analyst aspiring to make a global change in the world using data analytics. I look forward to asking one or two questions, getting mentored by you. I'm not asking for a job. I'm not asking you to give me a job. I just want a mentorship session with you. And trust me, today, if you check my followers, you see people like Toyosi Odukoya, you see the senior guys in Microsoft that are part of the people that I follow, and then they also follow me back. So, and then we have friendship. We build friendship over time. What am I saying is that for a beginner, one of the things you look out for is that one, understand where your journey is going to, where your end goal is going to be, get a mentor in the field, and two, ensure that you are learning every day. You are learning every day. You are learning every day. I can't overemphasize the importance of learning every day. And when I say when you are learning every day, ensure that you have a roadmap of what you want to learn. When I joined data analytics, I didn't know how to write any simple code. I cannot write SQL, Python, Humba. I couldn't write. Even doing visuals, I would join a lot of colors together. But one thing that was constant was that desire to learn was there. And then, so I was always looking out for people that are better off than me. And then I learn, I sit down with tutorials, and then I learn. So another thing I also tell you is that get involved. There are people that are doing in your workplace that there are projects, whether they call you or they don't call you, get involved. Provide a supporting hand. Because the truth is that in your process of getting involved is what will expose you to different type of data, different projects. It opens your horizon, it opens your thinking. So get involved, get a mentor, define a roadmap, be always willing to learn. Don't get tired of learning and ask questions. So that's how to navigate.
Interesting. That was a lot of information. I hope everyone really got that. Get involved. That part of getting involved is very important. I understand that sometimes you might feel unappreciated that, the one. There's this song on TikTok. What did he get me? You might feel like all of these efforts, no appreciation, no nothing. But you are doing it for yourself, in all honesty. You're not doing it for your company. You're not doing it for your team directly. Of course, it impacts the business in some way or the other, but it impacts you even more. Because if you learn how to do something today, tomorrow, if you are presented with that same situation, you'll be able to do it and do it well because you've done it before. So you're also doing it for yourself. So get involved and follow the other steps that have also been mentioned. Okay, so the next.
Just a quick one here, just before I forget. One of the things I also want to tell us is don't be afraid to take a risk. Don't be afraid to try new things. When I joined Access Bank, I was deployed to manage digital lending. And then I didn't know anything about lending. I was only one analyst. Myself and one other person, but then the other person was not readily available. So trust me, I learned in a hard way. But today in access, today where I work, there's no way you talk about, anything that has to do with lending analytics. The buck stops on my table. As far as one talks about lending in data, it stops on my table. And I can easily tell you now that if you start up a lending firm and you invite him to come and be like a strategy, I'll do a fantastic job. But 4 years ago, would I have done that? No. But eventually, I took a risk, I followed through, and here I am. So, and today, sometimes my boss will tell me that I can't go on leave. I don't enjoy any of my leave because it's like an operational risk. There's nobody that's going to do my work, whether I like it or not. So sometimes I'm on leave, I'm coming back from leave, I'm on leave, I'm going back from leave. So sometimes I'm even doing working leave. That's what has been even when I was doing my MBA, I didn't have an exam leave. I was doing my exam leave, I was still going to the office. So ensure that you take up risk, take a risk. When you take the risk, follow through, and it be intentional. It will pay off eventually. So as a beginner, don't be, concerned about, oh, it's not coming easy. Just be consistent. Stay at it. It will come. It will pay off eventually. So
Thank you
let's move on.
so much for that. So, guys, take risks. Take risks. And I like the fact that you created a niche for yourself. So people know that you are very good with LinkedIn analytics. That is something to also note. So, our next question is, what strategies can data analysts use to continuously update their technical knowledge? This is where we'll come to the technical side now. What strategies can data analysts use to continuously update their technical knowledge and stay ahead of industry trends? There are lots of things changing by the second. So how do they update their knowledge and also stay ahead of the trends?
So one of the things I learned from my mentor recently is that in your journey of becoming, give it time. Let me come again. In your journey of becoming, give it time. In your journey of becoming that person that you want to be, give it time. See, the truth is that it's good that we're aspiring to be great data analysts, but also please give yourself time. Yeah, give yourself time. So one of the things I tell people is that is that always be willing to learn. Today, in fact, my boss was talking about in the last meeting that we had, was talking about co-pilot, prompt engineering. I'm sure that some of us maybe are just hearing for the first time. There's what we call prompt engineering now. For people that use ChatGPT, prompt engineering is all about, asking the right question for all of these AI tools that you have now. So your ability to ask the right question, getting the right answer is what we call about prompt engineering. So there's co-pilot. There's a lot of tools that are coming up on daily basis. So one, don't stop learning. Even when you feel like, oh, you are doing well at your place of work, everybody knows you to be a great analyst. The truth is that nobody is indispensable. Forget about it. If something happened to you today, the bank will continue, the organization will continue. And then if care is not taken, the day you go and leave and there's a gap and somebody else tries to do your job, and because the person is up there, you will be shocked that person, because the person is always ahead of time, trying to get it from the way you been in your own in a traditional way. This person will now stay up the trend and then use new modern technology to beat your traditional way. So one, don't stop learning. Two, know that there's always a lot to learn. So ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? The same job function you are doing, how can I make sure the job function becomes easier by the day? Ask questions, and then I show that you'll be fine. Because as a data analyst, the truth is that the three major technical skills you need is SQL, Power BI, Excel. Majorly, Python, you're already doing EDA. All of the things you can do about EDA and with your EDA Python, the automation, some of them can be done with SQL. But the truth is that you can't stay on SQL, Power BI, and Excel. You have to aim further. You have to aim to be better. That's what you will make you stay ahead of the trend. Look at it. How can I make this work easier? How can I send an automated alert using Python? Those are things that that helps you become a better person over time. So yes, don't stay in the level of, oh, I've learned the beginner, SQL, Power BI. In fact, everybody's learning SQL, Power BI, and Excel now, but not everybody's learning Python. So get into that space before it becomes filled up, and then keep learning. And I know that we'll get better over time. So yeah.
Wow. Thank you very, very, very much for that. So, guys, you heard it all. it's good to start from the basics, but it's not good enough for you to remain there. So when you learn those basics, and this all of these courses amazingly they are offered here with data analytics, so like you can learn them. You can learn SQL, you can learn Power BI, you can learn Excel. And then when you feel confident enough to step up higher, that sounds like a church thing, step up higher. When you feel confident enough to step up higher, of course you can take the Python classes, but you have to start with the basics and be good with those. And he's very correct. Even people that are not doing data analytics these days, they learn these skills. My lecturer talks to me about some functions in SQL, and I'm looking at her like, what are you using this thing for? So as an analyst, you need to go the extra mile, and you only get that from learning, from experiences. Thank you very much for that response, Mr. Babatunde. I'll move on to the next question now. How important is networking for data analysts, and what are the best ways to build and maintain a professional network? So by professional network, there are networks that people have kind of hangouts, you go out, do things together. But here we need network that are really, really impactful to our career, to our journey. That is telling us, oh, have you heard about this tool? Oh, have you heard about this? Have you heard something that directly impacts your career? How can we build such network, if at all they are
There
important
is.
to us as data analysts?
So yeah, thank you for that question. Right. See, the truth is that your next job is going to be coming from somebody, and the quality of the life you're going to live, it depends on the level of relationship you have built. The quality of life you're going to live sometimes depends on the kind of relationship you have built. The truth is that uh, when building relationships, it is also important that you're also intentional. One of the things I like about Remedy, and this is not because she's on the call, and is the fact that uh, when I met her, every time you get to talk, it has always been about a passion for this that she's doing now. So in fact, I think I know about all of this before it started. And that's one of the things about her. And so in the journey of becoming, it is important that you build quality relationship. And it is important that you build good networks. And that's why, like I said, on LinkedIn today, I reach out to people that I know that, oh, this person is working visa. How did you get here? That's the questions I ask them. How did you get here? What were the things? What were the learning point for you? What more do I need to learn? What more do I need to add to my CV to become a better person? In fact, I got a job offer from somebody on TikTok. That was my friend. And it was supposed to pay me in dollars. And that's it. So it's important that you keep and maintain relationships. And like you said, professional relationship. So I do something on the side, which is a secret I wanted to expose us to. I do something on the side, which Ilemide knows. I train some guys in US on YouTube on how to analyze data. I train some guys in US and on how to analyze data. I
Hi,
don't.
Wilson. Could you mute your mic? Wilson. I don't know if you can hear us. Iremide, could you help us mute? Okay, beautiful. Thank
Okay.
Okay,
you.
that's done.
Okay, so I train some guys in US and UK on how to analyze data. And the truth is that my next job always comes from my previous student. My next job always comes from my previous student. And the truth is that when I started this job, this training, I was charging $500. Now the minimum I charge is about $2,500 or $3,000 for the same training. What have I been able to do is that I've been able to build quality friendship that some of them now became like brothers and sisters to me. That in fact, they will be the one to tell me that this person I'm bringing, person has money, you charge the person very well. You can give me $500 or $200. I don't mind. I'll tell you, bring the job. If I don't mind, do 50% with you. I'm sorry today. I hardly teach Nigerians because you will not tell a Nigerian to bring. I'm not. Iremide is doing a great job, but you're not telling Nigerian to bring $700 or $1,000, and the person will answer you. And like I said, I create a market niche for myself just to ensure that and I serve my market very well. Yeah. What am I saying is that build quality relationship. Your next job might be coming from the person that you refuse to say hi to, you ignore because you feel like, oh, you know better than them now. So you're knowing better than somebody does not give you a right to look down on them. because they can be the one to recommend you for the next position. So build quality networks. When you go for hangouts, when you go for meeting, when you hear people discuss about something you don't know, be willing to learn. I might not know everything, but when I hear something that I know that I don't know, I'll just go online, search it, read the summary. Okay, have an understanding. So have quality conversations, engage with people that they know that they are better than you in this particular data analytics field. Hear their conversations, learn from them. That's the way you can build quality networks. And please value relationship, value friendship. It's important because your next job will be coming from somebody that you don't even know.
Thank you very much for that response. It was really, really insightful. Creating a niche for yourself. Beautiful. We'll move on to the next question. I think you've mentioned something about this already about getting mentors. So I'm going to skip on this one because I think we flogged that dead already. So the next question is, what are some common challenges that data analysts face in the workplace, and how can they overcome them? Especially the ones that really, really are intentional about growing. Because I've seen people who work and then they are just there for the salary. As long as you pay them their monthly salary, they are fine. Nothing concerns them and growth. They don't care about promotion. It's not important to them. They just want to get paid. But there are others that are really, really passionate about what they do. They are really, really outspoken about their career projection. They are very sure this is where I want to be. That's where I want to be. And unfortunately, these are the people that will likely meet obstacles because they are trying to make progress. So, what are the common ones from your experience that they face, and how can they navigate them?
So the truth is that to God be the glory. Thank you very much. To God be the glory. All of my time in Access Bank that I've been in Access Bank, I've not had any appraisal less than an A in Access Bank. All of my 5 years. And see, one of the things that had worked for me over time is that there are times that I literally go and meet my boss and I negotiate with him. And I say during my appraisals, and I say, boss, my friends, the guys that we started this team together, they've left. I'm still here because I like it here. I see no reason why I should get anything less than an A in the appraisal. Let me tell you how I got here. You're going to face challenges. One of the things I also want you to take home from this is that cream will always rise to the top. If you have heard that word before, cream will always rise to the top. If you get a cup of coffee and you add cream to it, it will always rise to the top. Just be consistent. So, yeah, there's a part of saying, I'm going to say it in two dimensions. I know we have Muslims on this call, you have Christians on this call. When you are being consistent and hardworking, let them know you for something. Let them know you for excellence. Yes, sometimes people, you don't get the promotion that you deserve, but be consistent at that thing. I tell my colleagues today that I'm not fighting for relevance anymore. When you hear people just come in and say that we have this problem and we feel like you're the one that can solve it. That's what I hear. So I have built capacity and I have built competence and capacity to the point that whether you like it or not, you come back and look for me. That's what I'm saying. So yes, in the process of facing challenges, you turn down your challenges into motivation for you to become better and build capacity in that same thing that you are facing challenging. So you're not getting promoted, is a challenge. You're not getting paid very well, is a challenge. Turn that challenge to a motivation to be better at that thing. Because somebody that knows your worth will come and pay for your worth. I had a conversation with my boss some weeks ago. I told him that I got an offer from a company. I will not mention the company. And they are willing to pay. And he said, oh, don't go here too. I want you to work with me. And in my mind, I'm already telling him that this next year appraisal, say I don't get offer. If you don't do well, I come out. So I'm also I'm giving him this, I'm playing with psychologically with him, just for him to know that I have other offers out there. But don't do that when you don't make an empty bluff, when you know you don't have something to back on. If you decide to shut you down, you know that there's something. Well, on a lighter note, build capacity, be consistent, turn your challenge to a motivation for yourself, and then talk to God about everything. My last 2 years appraisal, my boss gave me a B at first. I went back to God. I said, God, you are the one that holds the heart of kings and queens. This man should not get sleep until he does the right thing. Do you know that this man did not sleep for 2 days? He had to go back and call me and say, okay, I'm only going to change your appraisal for you. Don't tell anybody else. I'm changing from a B to an A. So yes, I've done the work. I've now gone to God and say, God, you know what? Let this man do the right thing. So you face challenges, be consistent, turn your challenges to motivation, and also be prayerful. Because you're not just only fighting physical battle, you're also fighting spiritual battle. I'm not a pastor, but I'm not getting any other alternative now. I can't go to. So that's just it. So,
Thank
okay.
you so much. I really enjoyed listening to that. Turn your challenges into your opportunities. It's beautiful because the moment you give up, it's game over. Game over because whatever thing you think you're going through, like you rightly said, if you are doing your best and then you think you're unappreciated, one day someone will see that value and then they are going to pay you what you are really, really worth. But imagine you gave up long ago. When that opportunity will present itself, you just be like, oh, like that woman said, had it been I had, had it been I had known now, I would have, let that not be the case. Thank you so much for that insightful response, Mr. Babatunde. We're going to move to the next question. How can data analysts effectively communicate their insights and findings to non-technical stakeholders? This is a serious. I think you even mentioned it at the beginning of your session. It's a serious challenge. It's a serious challenge because data analysts think certain ways, they work certain ways, and then these non-technical guys, their mind is configured to do things differently, obviously. So how do we communicate effectively with people that are not in the non-technical area?
Okay, so one of the things I've done over time, because I've had to present to management, I've had to present to the most senior guys in Access Bank my insight most of the time. But one of the things I try to do is that I try to put them in my position or put myself in their position. That this is our people that are not even concerned about. So, like I said, they are operational dashboards. There's what we call operational dashboard or operational insight. They are dashboards that are meant for management. You need to understand the difference between the two. A management stakeholder that doesn't understand anything is concerned about a summary view of what you are presenting. And whatever you are presenting, don't forget that you might not even be there to present the data. That's one of the things you should have in the back of mind. So the data should speak for itself. That when this guy picks up this data or picks up this information, he can tell the story. So for me today, I look at people build dashboards. They can be very fine, but what story are you telling? What decision can I make from your dashboard, from the inside? So you look at a sales dashboard. I'm trying to be practical now. You look at a sales dashboard and you're saying, oh, this is sales month on month, day on day. You want to do a trend analysis. But there are some other important metrics that a management or a management staff or a management stakeholder is interested about. Like what's my average ticket size? What's my average sales? Which location is where, what is the cash cow of my sales? What are the top 5 products that I'm selling like that moves my product or move my sales? These guys need to have this information about that thing. What is it? So, you can be selling well and not be making profit. So you can also look at it from what product is contributing to my profit. So understand that if you, put yourself in a position of a business owner. What are the things that are important to this person? How can I bring this data to his granular level? So, and that's why you can have, and that's why Power BI is so, it's an amazing tool where you can do a drill through and give you further information. But understand your stakeholder. Number one, understand your stakeholder. Is this person using this dashboard or this information for an operational purpose? 2, understand the person's proficiency. Is this person even willing to go through the data journey himself, or is just interested in numbers? Just give me the numbers, let me work with it. And then, can I help the person to make a decision? There's some visuals you can build today that you can have a footnote there where you say you can even drive the insight. And it also helps the person to make an informed decision. You have saved the person time. So the most important key element is understand who your stakeholder is. And understand that all stakeholders are not the same. They don't want the same thing. I have a project I'm working on. I called the woman. She's a group head in Access Bank. I said, ma'am, can we have a meeting? This project, I've seen the schedule, I've seen the requirement, but I need to know what you want. What is your expectation? So have a conversation. Know what her thought process is. Know what she's expecting. She has documented it, but talk to her about it. It gives you a better knowledge. So yes, those are the things for me. Understand who your stakeholder is. Have a conversation. Then do a constant feedback. Show them the first phase, second phase. Is this what you're expecting? Do we do a deep dive? Do I need to go more? Do you need more insight? Can I get more data? Do a feedback session before you go live finally. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. That is really, really helpful because it's really painful when you have to go through a task and you think you are done, 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 done. And sometimes you even feel good, take a cup of coffee or tea, and then you find out that you just wasted time. So
Yeah.
this feedback session is I think is really, really helpful when you carry them along in every step of the way. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Is this what you want? That is really, really helpful. Thank you so much for that insight. So the next question is going to be what are some ways that we can demonstrate value and impact within an organization? So you're a data analyst. Of course, if you assign the role, that's why they give you JDs and all of that. If you assign the role, and then people expect that, so you do what that has been assigned to you. But we're talking about, going beyond borders now. I've been dropping some going beyond borders. Okay. So what are some things that people can do, data analysts can do, or even just a regular worker can do that will help them create impact in an organization? And this is not necessarily limited to just JDs.
Okay, so thank you for that question. Do you know what I noticed some weeks ago? I realized today where I work, we don't have a loan data mart like that gives you a one-stop view of all of the borrowers in the bank. There are these information here and there. I walk up to my boss. I did a documentation. It's outside what I should be doing. I did a documentation. I shared with him. I went with him to meet him in person. I said, you know what? And that is where, that was before I even negotiated that I might be leaving, that I got an offer from. So what I did was to present the value to him. I told him that, you know what? We don't have a one-stop shop for all of the borrowers in the bank. I want to create this information that anybody today, before you can borrow to anybody, you have that information, you can make an informed decision. So I want to do that for them. So there's always going to be a gap to be filled. Sit down carefully, take a walk, look at your organization today. There's always going to be a gap. You can't afford to see I will reference my mentor a lot, right? And he's somebody that is a very popular person. And he always says something. If you don't do so, Pepe, just like you said that not just about work now. He says something. He said, if you don't do for more than what you are being paid for, you will not someday earn more than what you are doing. If you don't do more than what you are being paid for, you will not earn more than what you are doing. So if you feel like you want to just do what you are being paid for, someday you will don't think of any word more than what you are doing. Because that's what you have limited yourself to. So always think outside the box. There are problems to be fixed. You look at and there are times that it's not even you implementing the solution. You can walk up to your boss and say, boss, I think we can move in the right direction by doing this, by doing that. I think it will also serve greater value. So look at it from that way, and then you'll be an high flyer.
Thank you very much. I like that last line. You'll be an high flyer. So if you want to fly high, you have to find ways to, solve problems, really. And Iremide, our CEO, has always shared something like that with us. What she did with our company and the sales team. She was there analyzing the data. And one day she decided to go with these guys to the field to see things and get some first-hand experience. So it could be anything. You understand your company better. We don't work there with you. And like I said, these tips that we share, you can actually use them if you are not even a data analyst, because a workplace is a workplace, and this is soft skills. soft skills are transferable. It's not limited to just one particular field, unlike technical skills. Yeah. So if you know that this is something you really, really, really want to do, then you have to find ways to start thinking outside the box, to start solving problems, providing valuable solutions. There are some people, the English word is busybody, they want to be everywhere. That's not the type of solution we're talking about. Please, because if you do that, you are going to create a negative tag for yourself. It's not that busybody kind of problem solving we are talking about. We're talking about impactful, valuable solutions. Not that when you are talking, people be like, ah, he has started again, she has started again, notice me and all of that. No, 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 no. That's not what this is about. So search through your company, search through your firm, search through your organization, wherever you're doing, and find ways to create valuable solution. And like our guest rightly said, you might not necessarily be the one to implement that, but just point it out, note it out, and then let the rest take care of itself. Thank you so much, Babatunde, for that response. We'll still have some time. So, guys, you can be preparing your questions now. So, I'll ask another question. How can young professionals balance the need for technical expertise with the development of soft skills such as teamwork and leadership? Because usually when people start out, it's more about efficiency, trying to do their work very well. But we've seen that, or personally, I've seen that because I've worked with teams and I've led teams. When you want to give some kind of strategic positions to people, you are not checking for who can create the most beautiful dashboard alone. You are not checking for who can create the most meaningful insights alone. You're also checking for some other things. How does this person handle pressure? How does this person talk to the rest of the team? Because you don't want to bring in someone that is going to ruin everything that you've worked hard to build. So these are soft skills. So how do they manage that balance of trying to, get so good with the technical skills, yet still building their soft skills?
Okay, thank you so much. There's someone that joined this call, right? Is a friend and a colleague in the office, right? And because he joined at the right time when you are asking this question. There's this, I would not mention his name so that I don't expose who the person is. But
I
the
can
truth is
say the
that
spirit is moving.
the truth is that this person, I so much respect his zeal for work. If you want to get something done, and you need somebody, just like you already said, it's not just about the visual. You need somebody that's going to follow through. Call this person. Be sure that he's going to deliver. If it requires him staying overnight, to ensure that he delivers on the job, he will deliver on the job. But then, what I used to sometimes don't always fight to be seen. It is not always about you. Also, it is not always about you. It's also about others. Don't always fight to be seen. Also allow others to be seen. There are times that you don't really have to be the one executing this thing. Ensure that you embrace teamwork. When you are given a task, you might be the best on the job, but also allow others to grow by giving them responsibility. And that's the way they can also learn. And that's the way you can also that makes you a good leader, a better leader. When you're able to allow others to learn from you, allow others to take responsibility. Like you already said, when I first joined the team, I think, like I said, I have some of my colleagues here. It was about getting the job done. I want to build visuals. But now I got to a point that I think it's not about getting the job done. I need to also let other people grow. And that will make you a leader. You need to grow from, oh, it is just all about me, to ensuring that others are also seeing. So I think it's a growth process, it's a learning process. Ensure that you embrace the team playing, teamwork, allow people to take responsibility, ensure that you are willing to let other people to learn from you. And that will make you a better person. And don't forget that relationship will be built both on with work and outside work. Some persons look at you and say, this person that would not allow us learn from him, they will not allow us do this. I know where to get you. There are times that you also need their help somewhere else. They didn't wait for you. So
Of course.
there's someone that raised hand in the. Do you want to take
Yeah, we'll
questions
take
from
the
the audience?
questions very soon. We're almost there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. I'm just going to ask the last question and then we're going to move into the audience questions. So, my question is, what are some best practices for managing workload and avoiding burnout as a data analyst? Because when we encourage people to put in their best and do a lot, there was a point in my career where my boss would be the one begging me to stop. Like we used to have a lot of hangouts. People are who are in the place wherever we are hanging out at, and then people are having fun and doing stuff. I'm with my laptop and I'm working. I'm responding to emails. I'm having calls. Be like, hey, Jiro, no, this is not why we are here. Drop that laptop, close that laptop, and be here, be present here. 2 a.m. at night, I'll be responding to emails. It's something I literally struggled with because I didn't know how to stop. And at some point, I felt drained. Other times, I felt very good because it was something I was really, really, really passionate about. But even if there is a place of passion, my body also needs help because burnout usually starts with your mind. It starts affecting your mind. Before you know, those tiredness will start showing in your physical health also, which is not so good. So, how would you advise us to maintain that healthy balance? Because we're trying to be excellent at the same time. There's need to also be healthy in our mind, in our body. So, how would you advise us to maintain that balance?
And I mean, excellent question. I mean, we talk about work-life balance every now and then, but the truth is that always have this at the back of your mind. Whether you are there or you're not, the company will continue. The firm will continue. If anything happens to you today, the firm will continue. It is always about the firm first before you. And the truth is that nobody's indispensable. If you think that you love your job, that's not even your own business. It's not even your own company. So much that you should churn out every of your social life. The day the job is no longer there, you will come back to meet that social life that you have left. So it's important that while you are trying to be a better person on your job, ensure that you are maintaining a balance. If you look at me today, I eat well. There's someone that I try to eat well. I don't drink, neither do I smoke, but I try to eat well. So maybe one of the ways that you also need to ensure that you maintain balance is that my weekends, I try not to work weekends except I have classes. I try to cook weekends. I have, like I said, I have some of my friends there. If you see me in Owambe, where I go for Owambe party, I'm always the life of the party. I will dance a lot. That's one of the ways that I try to unwind. It is not always going to be about work. There's more to life about work than work. When the work is gone, what are you going to do? The truth is that some people use work to cover for loneliness. Yes. But it can't always be like that. If you're looking up to start up a family someday, you need to ensure that you maintain the balance. You need to have time for your family, for your children, for your wife. So if you don't start now, when it gets to that time, you will find it difficult to maintain the balance. So regularly, when you know that there's a work overload, take 2 hours off, take a walk, listen to music, dance, go for Owambes, go for parties. There are times that, one of the things you don't know is that when the days that there's no work, these same people that you feel like, oh, you are too busy to attend to, they will be the one you are left with. So if care is not taken, you need to value these friendships and relationships that you are building. It is good that you do well at work because eventually work pays your bill. But you will know that there are things that money cannot do for you other than people. So like I say, always tell people, even when you have money, build quality relationships. So yeah, ensure that you maintain work-life balance, eat well, sleep well. That's the only way you can even think well, play well. And I've always told you, I said it on this call, in your journey of becoming, give it time. It's not always about work. It's not always going to be about work. People today that are gone, there are people that are hardworking than you. They are nowhere to be found. So please take a break. Take a break. And that's
Thank
why
you
there's a
very
leave.
much.
Take a
Okay.
break.
Thank you. Guys, you heard it too. So today is Saturday. Let's assume that today has finished. So tomorrow now, Start calling anybody that has party to go. Dress well. That's why I like Nigerian parties, especially the open ones, not those ones that you enter by invitation. Even the one they enter by invitation, we still find a way to work our way in. Go and find one day and dance. Let people be even wonder that what is happening. If food is a remedy, good get good food and eat, because these things, as little and unserious as they may sound, they are really, really, really actually important. And it's something that myself and Irimide has shared for years, because we started out as colleagues, we're couples then, and then we've gotten this far today. If we were not intentional about our relationship, we would not be here, because we were not the only ones at the company. We were not the only couples there at the time. But what I share with her, there are other few people that I share that with from that particular company. So it's important that you build good relationships as well. So we're going to be taking the questions now. I see that we have some hands raised. Let me reconfirm. Yes, we have some hands raised. So if you have a question, two options. You can raise your hand or you can drop your question in the comment section. I will take as much as we can. So I will just start with the hands that is raised now. I think one hand was raised earlier, but I don't remember the name. But if you're still on the call and you still have the question, please just signify. You can raise your hand or you could drop a message in the chat session. So Bolatito, please mute your mic and ask your question.
Hello, house. Sorry, there's a background noise. I want to thank the facilitator for this afternoon, and I'm glad I joined because I took time off to join. So I used to have my background in customer service. I worked in the bank for 16 years. So I grew through the rank. I became the customer service manager of my branch. I don't want to mention the name of my bank. I've left. So I'm happy our facilitator is from Access Bank. So before I left the bank, we embarked on a project, right? And it was about digital transformation. We wanted to make more revenue. We wanted to merge processes. We wanted to merge roles, as in the bank felt some roles were being duplicated. And eventually we had that project. I won't mention the name of the project. So they brought in guys from McKinsey because the bank does not believe they can get people from the bank who could do the job. And that's always the mentality. And they brought in these guys. And the guys came and they were asking for data. My branch happened to be a pilot phase branch. And before then, I've always lost this ambition of being a business analyst or data analyst. I was in the bank and I started learning. So when they brought in the guys, because these guys were not subject matter experts, to me, they didn't do a good job. And the recommendations they gave was nothing. I don't know if Baba today can relate. And I was pained where I sat down because they were asking for some data. I don't want to go deep, you understand? So, but eventually that project flawed and nothing came out of it after spending so much money. So I told myself, and at that point I was about leaving the bank. I just wanted to go and learn and improve myself because I saw many gaps. Number one, for us to get data was a problem. I had to tell my subordinates to bring out registers because our IT could not pull data. And that was where the problem started with me. That how can we continue this way? You want data to give us recommendation. You want data to bring up insights. So the data we could get from registers did not match anything. And these guys use this data to give recommendation. You understand? So to cut my long story short, the project did not work. I'm out of the bank. I'm trying to improve myself. You understand? So, Baba, today I just need your advice in a situation like that. My goal of 5 years is to go back and be a consultant because I see that most times when you're in the bank, they don't respect your views, even as subject matter experts, because that is what I do. I grew through the ranks. All the processes I know, all the operational things I know, but they don't always respect your view until they bring people out they are going to pay millions to. So for my goal of being a consultant, please, I need your advice. What area should I focus on, having my background in the banking industry and customer service?
So thank you very much, Mrs. Bolatito. In fact, I can understand your pain. I know how it feels when you feel like you could have done a better job if you're in this position. you understand what the pain was, and because of your passion for excellence, you wish you could do something better. But yeah, see, the truth is that data journey can be learned. You can start your data journey anywhere, anytime, anywhere, anyhow. All of my students that I train outside the country today, to God be the glory, they are all married people, 40, 50. In fact, I trained a student before that told me that if she was in Nigeria, she would have been old enough to be my mother. Though that's by the way. I'm just saying that age or time is not a reason why you cannot learn. So, why you cannot learn data analytics. But for me, one of the things I would advise you if you want to start a career and you want to be a consultant in 5 years' time, start with the basic. What did I say the basic in the sense that understand data itself, understand data interpretation. Start with SQL. I know you've used Excel over time. Start with SQL and Power BI. Understand how to interpret data. Look at data and see how you can better advise people on how to use it. So see, what people will pay you for is the level of insight you are giving to them as an analyst. Your worth will be determined by the level of insight you are giving to people. So for me, Mrs. Bolatito, take time, just like you're saying that you're doing that now, learn the basics, understand how data works, understand data insight, and spend time with data. You will get better every day. It is not too late to learn. It is not too late to start a journey. I know you'll be fine. If you, I'm going to volunteer to support you in the journey. If you feel like you need me to guide you, I will definitely be. You can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or something. I will definitely be available to reach out and ensure that you have a smooth journey. But I know that it's just a matter of time. You'll be fine. So.
Wow, thank you so much for that offering. It was really generous and kind of you. Thank you. So Bolatito,
Thank
you've heard
you.
him. Now
Thank
you
you
have a
so much.
mentor or you have a guide, so to say. Thank you so much. I will have
Okay,
another
I
hand.
can't see his surname. I know it's Baba today. What's his surname, please?
Ahmed.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right. You can lower your hand now, Bolatito.
Ayodele.
No. There was another hand, not
Yes,
Bolatito.
Ayodele Akinyoju.
Yeah, Ayodele, please. I wasn't talking to you, please. If you unmute your mic and ask your question. I was talking to Bolatito to lower her hand, not yours.
Okay, so Ayodele Akinyoju, let's have you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been a really insightful session. I've learned so much in this my budding career as a data analyst. So I want to ask our facilitator two questions actually. The first one, what sort of motivated him to take this career path, and is it related to what he studied in school? And I want to know what was the major driving force basically for going into this field, in out of all the available fields I could have chosen. Was it something that just happened accidentally? Was it something he sort of wanted to do, or was it because of his skills? And then I want to ask about evolution as a data analyst. How do you evolve? Like, for example, you've been a data analyst for 5 years. What can you seek to add to your armory to sort of take you to the next level in your career, to say, okay, because obviously you won't be on the same level for like the rest of your career. So what can you do to sort of take the next step, so to speak, in your career to sort of evolve? Because the tech world generally is ever evolving. We have the introduction of artificial intelligence, which in the future will make a lot of roles redundant. So how do you evolve? How do you stay relevant? How do you sort of add more chinks to your armory to, grow basically in your career? And I would also ask if I can have a one-on-one with the facilitator to sort of, ask some other personal questions I have. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Dele. God bless you. You asked amazing questions. How do you I didn't have a background in data analytics. I had a background, though I did I had a background in chemical engineering, even though we do a lot of mathematics, statistics, but it's not core statistics. So I have a background. My background was in chemical engineering. I joined data analytics accidentally. In fact, when there was audition to write tests for guys that wanted to join data analytics in Access Bank, I didn't write the test up to today. So I was posted there accidentally, and that's how I find my journey in accident data analytics. How do you evolve? Important question. Like I said, I think I said on this call earlier, my 10 years goal from now is I want to be a data consultant. And for me, I'm not going to do all of I will have the guys that do the dirty job in terms of cleaning up the data, analyzing data. My own is to give you insight. I'm going to sit with you in a meeting and tell you the direction of your data, tell you the direction of your company using data. And how do I get to that goal? Is to get familiar with the AI tools, all of the data analytics tools that are evolving every day. And we talked about prompt engineering. And the truth is that, just to answer his question, I remember saying this earlier in the week, that yes, there's machine learning, there's AI, but AI would not take your job if you know what you are doing. AI will only see Pepe or Ayodele. When you give AI a chat GPT a question, can you design how do I go about the solution? Most times chat GPT will give you absolute solutions, tailored like it's going to give based on the decision you have, the situation you have described, the circumstance, it will give you that particular. But most of the questions, the solutions are always textbook solutions. There's a way you design solutions, tailored fit solutions to based on the ecosystem you find yourself. Nigeria being an example, the kind of market that we run in Nigeria is not a typical kind of market. So you being an analyst, if you understand the ecosystem and where environment you find yourself, you can better design a tailored solution than what an AI will do. Because AI is not meant to understand what the ecosystem of Nigeria is going to be, because there are so many variables. But because you are in Nigeria, you understand what the market is. You understand that for any politician to win an election, he just needs to give people one bag of rice, one Congo of rice, one piece of bread, and then they get this thing done. So that is you designing a tailored solution. So if you're an analyst analyzing for a politician, you understand that it's not just about speaking good English. It is about how you can put your money to use. That is how you become, that is how AI would not be able to take your job. So yes, be an expert in the field that you have chosen. Like I said, with all sense of humility, in lending today in Access Bank, I know that with all sense of humility, I do well. Like, you will not talk about lending and it doesn't stop on my queue. I can easily close my eyes and tell you how a lending firm will perform, how the NPL can be reduced, because I understand the game, I understand the situation we have in Nigeria. I can tell you why people are not paying. Somebody will tell you that the reason why a customer is not paying by the books is because, he doesn't have money. Sometimes in Nigeria situation, customers have money, they don't just want to pay. So I hope I've been able to answer the question. How do you evolve? Get familiar with all of the AI tools that you have now. Get on understanding. Ask questions, read. Don't stay at one position. Keep learning, keep asking questions. If there are people that know these things better than you do, like I said, I have people that are better off than me on the job today. There was a guy that uses Python better than myself. I woke up to him last 2 weeks and I told him that, guy, even though he's a junior staff, I said, I want to learn this thing. He said, when I have a job that I want to do on it, I should let him know. He's willing to teach me. So get yourself familiar with people that are better on you on the job. And then that's where you become an high flyer. So I think I've answered this question.
Thank you very, very
And
much.
then he can reach out to me. Like I said, just check
Aww.
me. I'll answer you personally.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a question from Oluwatosin in the chat session. So we'll quickly take this and then Salam will come to you. So he asked 2 questions. What are the best strategies for a novice data analyst with skills in Excel, Power BI, and basic SQL to successfully find and secure freelance projects on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork? Then the second question is, how can a beginner data analyst build a strong portfolio on Fiverr and Upwork? And what types of initial projects should they focus on to quickly gain experience and positive reviews?
So one of the things and I'm going to be honest on this call, I've not had to use Fiverr and Upwork. Like I said, my side gigs has been coming from referrals. In fact, I do support for guys in US, not every time because of my time, but I do support for guys in US, and then I get paid for supporting them on the job. But yeah, one of the things I want to tell you is that for an aspiring data analyst, a beginner, build a portfolio for yourself. I mean, I know you can build a portfolio even using Google to build a portfolio. On GitHub, you can build a portfolio that you can always put on LinkedIn. People can look at your work, and then always volunteer to do free jobs. Let me tell you one of the approach a friend used back then. There are companies that today they don't have analysts. You can walk up to them and say you want to do a free gig for them. When you do a good job for them, they'll be forced to retain you. So be willing to do free gigs. Not everything is money. Like I said to you, not everything is money. So some of my students today, the reason why I still keep friendship with them is that even when they get on the job and they need support on the job, I do it for them free of charge. So that way they can easily come back to me and even refer me for more jobs, because I've made them feel so much comfortable. They are part of my family. Like I said, be willing to take free gigs. For Fiverr and Upwork, I've not had to use it, but yeah, I know that you can register there, but you need to have a portfolio. Create a portfolio on GitHub, create a portfolio with Google. There's where you can drop, create, you can see the dummy data set on Cargo that you can get. If you data set where you can analyze, build reports, build insight. You can see what data. There's an academy on LinkedIn. What they do is that so there are also companies that they have your data in the public domain. Analyze the data, put it on your LinkedIn. Somebody will see it. Somebody will reach out and appreciate you. So for someone that just have a beginner knowledge in SQL, Excel, like I said, take up more projects. Look for more jobs. Take up more free gigs. Volunteer to analyze people's data free of charge. Somebody would definitely appreciate you for what you are doing. Like I said, cream will always rise to the top. Be consistent with what you're doing, and then you get the best out of it. And even in your organizations, take up more projects. That's the only way you can learn. Take risk, go for it, and you'll be fine.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that response. I hope you got the answer that you needed, the lower Tosin. But if you are still not clear about something, please feel free to drop it in the comment section, and of course we'll certainly take it. So I think Salami, yes, Salami, yes, your hand is up. Please ask your question, Salami. Mind check, Salami. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Beautiful. Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you for coming about today, and thank you to the team at large. So my question is, I was cite an example. About some weeks back, I was very, very sick. About 3 weeks, I couldn't go to the office, and the reporting department, everybody went down. Like nobody could stand up to the task. So when I came back, manager said, "You're not a good leader." And why? And I asked why. He said, because you have people under you, but they can't do what you do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah. He said you have people under you and they can't do what you do. So I'm going to designate you just 1 week to train 3 associates, junior leads, junior analysts on what you do. So I started doing that. And I noticed that every time I do that, I still get to do the reports every week after training them. And in my head, is it that I'm not relevant enough, or I am relevant? Or is it that the people I'm training, they're not getting they're not getting it right, or they're not just putting their mind there? Because to be an analyst for a fintech company, that means you have value to them, right? So now the question is, how can I remain valued and respected in my role? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. You asked an amazing question. When, like I said, I've had to experience. In fact, my December break, I remember that one of my KPIs for this year, or my last appraisal, was that my boss told me that Tunde, if you are not going to train the person that has been assigned to you to be able to stand in there for you, that he doesn't want me being on leave and somebody is calling me to come do something on there, depending on me to get the result out. The truth is that what I've learned over 5 years on a particular job, you don't expect me to compress it into somebody in 1 month or 2 months. That's the truth. So it doesn't make you a bad leader. But what you also need to do is that, create a system where things can run whether you are there or you're not there. This is what I mean. If you know that you'll not be available and things will not work when you're not there, one of the attributes of being a good leader is that if you can create a document. So I remember that I used to have a team member. She's a very smart lady, but not readily available for work. Anytime I'm going on leave, what I do is that all of the things I'm supposed to do, I put in a notepad. I now do it. I said, step 1, run this code. After this one runs, follow this next line and run this and run that. So even if I have to come to the office, if I have to interact with her, it wouldn't be regularly. It will be when she encounters a problem. So look at a process that's being run in your company today. See how you can make that system run 80% whether you are there or you're not there. If you have to document your processes for anybody to be able to pick and run the same thing, document that. That's one of the things that also make you a better person. So like I said, look at the junior analysts, have a feedback session with them. Ask them, what is the gap? What were the challenges? Why were they not able to do certain things? Then you can be able to tackle that situation and help them to become a better person. The truth is that I know that feeling of wanting to stay relevant in a workplace, because you feel like if somebody else begins to do what you do, they might not need you anymore. But I've come to understand from my experience that cream will always rise to the top. Sorry, I keep using that word. If you are good at what you do, those that know your value will come looking for you. Nobody can take your place when it is done the right time. And that's why I talk about the God factor. In as much as you also want to stay relevant, keep talking to God about it. And I don't want to sound spiritual here, but let me give you a typical example. Do you know that when Joseph was interpreting the dream, what he told the king was that, I said, look for somebody that is wise and can do this and can do that. And then before the king now turned to him and said that we don't have any other person we can call to than you. So what am I trying to say is that build confidence for yourself, make yourself valuable, however, ensure that also others go through you, because you never can tell where you find yourself tomorrow. You might also have to need their referrals tomorrow. So do something for the future, do something for tomorrow, and then you'll be fine.
Awesome. Yeah. I hope Salami, I hope that answered your question. Oh, okay. We have a lot of reactions, so I guess that is a yes. Let me look through the comment section if we have another question. Collins, if you registered, then of course certainly you are going to get the recording of the session. If you didn't, I think you can still register. I'm not sure if you can still register because the link will only be sent to people that registered. It will be sent to them. Yeah. So let's see if we have any other question. No other question for now. I'm assuming that means a job well done, because it obviously means that people understood everything that was said and will run with the information, and that is really, really amazing. I mean, when we see again in maybe 2 or 3 months' time, it would be good to hear the amazing things that we've done with this information. Like, oh, actually, I helped my team solve this problem. I helped my company solve this problem. These are things that we talk about all the time. If you go on LinkedIn, you see a lot of people writing about the stuff that they do, and you are no exception. You might think that those things you are doing do not hold water. Actually, they do. They hold water more than you can ever imagine. So again, I'm hoping that in 2 months' time, you'll be able to say, oh, this is what I have done for my team. And in return, you know that you are doing it for yourself, more importantly. So before we close the
So
curtains,
I think somebody has a question and said, "Thank you, Mr.
okay.
Babatunde. I was
How
recently
come
asked."
I'm not seeing it? Let me see. Okay, from Joyce. Oh, one
Yeah.
minute ago. Okay, beautiful. I will just read it out so everyone can hear that I recently was tasked with analyzing data using Power BI for an interview. I did an overview of the data and presented a one-page report, but I didn't get the job. If faced with such a task in the future, what do you suggest the best approach should be, considering the fact that I wasn't given a problem statement to work with? Interesting.
So interesting. In my experience, I've gotten a lot of rejections. Trust me. Sometimes rejections does not mean that you are not good enough. Sometimes rejections does not mean that you don't deserve the job. Maybe God wants something better from you. That's one side. But going to your question, I did an overview of the data and presented one-page report, but I didn't get a job. I'm not sure they gave you a feedback on what they were looking for that they didn't see. So maybe the next time you have that kind of opportunity, after presenting that, in fact, after doing your report, maybe you have a second level view, second level check. Talk to somebody that also is a good analyst. Let the person also look at it for you and see how you can better present the data in a better way. Be objective, take feedback on your presentation, see how you can ensure that you deliver better value. And if you have done all of that, then pray about it. And if you still didn't get the job, know that there are better things in stock for you. I've done it. I've done interviews where I've met all of the requirements, and then I've gotten to the last stage. What happened is that maybe something went off. Maybe they were not willing to pay, and then they couldn't express that they were not willing to pay. It could even be that somebody else had recommended another person for your position, and that's why they're not giving the job. So don't feel bad. I know how it can be depression. I know how you can feel when you get rejections, but you can always be better. The next job you get, the next offer you get, the next interview, when you're done with the building of the report, look for friends that are also analysts. Let them look at the report with you. Let them see let them give you feedback. Let them criticize the work, and then you can get a better solution and you can present the data. And I know that backing it up with prayer, God will do that which only Him can do. So I think that's the part that I'm going to encourage you on. So if you're not getting it now, there's something better coming. Trust me. Trust me. Everybody will win in life. Just trust me.
Thank you very, very much for that. This is beyond answer now. It's more like word of encouragement. Even I can actually use that encouragement right now. Thank you so much for that, Tunde. This was needed. Really, it was really needed. Let me see. Okay, there's no other question. Okay, someone raised a hand. I think I saw
That's
something.
why
Oh,
is
Iremide, please go ahead.
why is she raising up her hand?
Hi.
Ah,
Hi, Mr. Babatunde. Hi, Pepe. I really enjoyed this session. Thank you very much. I'll say Mr. Babatunde is a leader. You see the way he was able to blend the encouragement, the motivation. Like I felt motivated myself just listening to you. And before everybody say thank you, I personally want to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Babatunde. And I hope that when we call you, you come again. And
Sure.
definitely, yeah, I think I owe you a date. Like, I need to take you out. You've done fantastic work. And we need to link up. Like you said, we have to build relationships, right? Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
me building mine with you. So I hope to see you soon.
Sam.
And I hope
Sam.
that we will talk in person.
Okay. So like I said, just a final word before for anyone that I know that it's a big industry, but don't forget there's always going to be I tell people around me that um there's not how much a bus can be full. How much a bus can be filled up. If you go to a park and you see I mean, a bus going to interstate, Ibadan, for example, and it's so filled up, the space for the driver is going to always be left untouched. If you like, parking yourself 3 for back, 7 in the front, like you see that it's overloaded, the bus is overloaded. The driver space is not going to be contented with. What am I saying is that your space is always going to be reserved for you. Be intentional about your growth. Be consistent about your growth. Pray about everything. Take everything to God in prayer. Be it you're a Muslim or a Christian, talk to God about everything. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, now you mess up. Trust me. If you lose hope, if you fail, it's your fault, not anybody's fault. So don't lose hope. Be consistent and stay happy, stay motivated, and you'll be fine. And most importantly, cream will always rise to the top. When you feel discouraged, when the rewards are not coming, when the things are not coming, you will make it eventually. Everybody will win in life. Just be consistent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish this could just keep going and going and going and going and going up. Thank you so much. But before we go, guys, please let's unmute our mic and say thank you. I've been seeing your messages, of course, but let's unmute and say thank you to Mr. Babatunde. This was insightful. Please unmute your mic and say
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Babatunde.
Mr.
I
Ahmed.
really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to chat me on
Thank you.
I would love to
Thank
connect with
you.
you, Mr. Tunde.
I won't charge you. Feel free to chat me on LinkedIn, and then if you have us to ask questions, I'll respond on
Wow.
LinkedIn. I'll respond.
That's very generous.
Thank you,
Thank
Remide.
you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Pepe.
yeah.
Nice meeting you. I wish you all the best
Thank
in your
you.
competition. Please share, send some funds to us so we can celebrate on your day.
Please,
We'll
let's
go to the
also
mountain base.
celebrate Miss Africa
No
in
problem.
Russia. Ejiro Ogene Pepe.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations in
Thank you
advance.
very, very much. I appreciate your support, guys. Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best
And
for tomorrow, Arimede. Tomorrow meet up.
thank you.
Tomorrow meet up, yeah?
Meet
Enjoy,
up.
you guys
Yeah.
enjoy.
Thank you so much, Abu.
Yeah, thank you very
Yes,
much,
so
Mr. Abu, for telling us if you are in Lagos and you're
Yeah.
on this call, Mr. Babatunde Ahmed is coming for a hangout tomorrow at Undubusi Park in Ikeja. You don't want to miss this connection with
oh
him in
my
person.
God.
And other amazing data analysts are also going to be there. You don't want to miss the hangout. So
Unfortunately,
please,
unfortunately, I won't be able to make it because it's far, far away.
because you are in the UK, Mr. Abu, don't worry, the UK hangout coming up. If you're in
Thank
the
you.
UK, say
Sure, sure.
we are coming.
Hey,
Yes, yes.
God.
Looking
God
forward to
when?
looking forward. Very much. Thank you
But
for
tomorrow,
organizing it. Baba Tunde, thank you very much for the